this goes with your second assignment for PEMDAS, and it is a couple more hints with working with PEMDAS, parentheses, and big fractions. Parentheses, when you have lots of them, they're either meant to annoy you or just be put there because they're stupid and they want the problem to look more difficult, or most of the time it does mean, hey, do this first. That's what PEMDAS tells you. Parentheses comes first. So as I said before, you want to first look at the problem and read it out loud. Now with parentheses, it's a little bit strange to do this, but that's what I want to do. 2 plus parentheses 9 times 3 times parentheses 2 plus 1. Notice I said times there because that's what this means. Times 2 plus 1 parentheses times 4. Again, another multiplication. Minus parentheses 8 times 0. Now 2 plus 9 times 3 times 2 plus 1. There's that whole repeated multiplication. After I do the parentheses, I can do that. Times 4. More multiplication. And then an 8 times 0. So you can actually start with multiplication for this problem, going through all of those other pieces after you do that one tricky multiplication or parentheses right there, 2 plus 1. Well, not really tricky, but that's what it says. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Times 4, oops, wrong bracket, minus 0. 8 times 0, 0. So they put this lovely parentheses in this problem just to be annoying and stupid because 8 times 0 is 0. I don't even need it, but I'm going to put it in there. Now it says 2 plus. Now big, big, big parentheses with all kinds of multiplication. 9 times 3 times 3 times 4. So I really don't have to do 9 times 3 times 3 and then times 4, but I can. I would actually do that. 3 times 3 is 9, so 9 times 9 is 81. And 81 times 4 minus nothing, just again to say it's there. 81 times 4 is 324. Minus 0. And it says 2 plus 324 or 326 minus 0 is just 326. Ta-da! There you go. This one has brackets in there again, but notice as I read it, 3 times 5 times 48 divided by 12. 48 divided by 12 is the parentheses part. The brackets are really just separating this again instead of putting multiplication symbols in there. Like I said, a lot of times they're there just to make the problem look difficult. So it says, do the parentheses 48 divided by 12 first, because that's what I'm going to work with. Inside parentheses first. So 3 times 5 I'm going to leave alone. I'm going to rewrite this as multiplication. 48 divided by 12 is 4. So now it says 3 times 5 times 4. Again, I can do this in any order that I want to now that I've simplified it. So 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 4 is 20. And 3 times 20 is 60. The other thing to be careful with is the big fraction. When you're reading the problem, especially when you're going to evaluate, you want to notice that there's that big fraction in there. What this means is everything on top I want to do first. With the fraction, and I'm thinking about PEMDAS, I'm really going to throw in do the top, do the bottom, then divide, because I can't evaluate a fraction. There is no F in PEMDAS. There should be, but there isn't one. So this says 7 times m plus 1 is all divided by b. So do all this first. Pretend like there's a parentheses up there. If it helps, put that parentheses in there. When I evaluate it then, it says 7 times 3 plus 1. I'm going to do that part first, and then I'm going to divide it by b, which is 2. So I'm going to put my parentheses in there as I rewrite this because that's what it says to do. So order of operations says 7 times 3 is 21, plus 1 is 22. And 22 divided by 2 is 11. Sorry, the computer doesn't like what I'm typing right here. On the other problem, there's all kinds of parentheses, there's a big fraction, and again, you're looking to say, figure out what it says. So 12 times, in parentheses, 15 divided by 3. It's telling you it wants you to do the division before you do the multiplication. Well, of course you could, they should have just put it first, but most of us don't read it that way. 12 times 15 divided by 3, all divided by 20 times 5 minus 20 times 2. 20 times 5 minus 20 times 2 is the denominator part of this. So we're going to deal with each parenthesis first, just the way I read it. So it says 12 times whatever 15 divided by 3 is, which is 5. This time I'm going to leave it as a big fraction looking thing. 20 times 5 is 100. First I have to underline this. Minus 20 times 2, which is 40. Now there's all kinds of other cool mathematical things you could do with that one because there's a 20 in each parentheses. I could factor out the 20, but we won't get into that yet. 12 times 5 is 60. And 60 is divided by 100 minus 40. I can't do the division until I know what that subtraction part is. So 60 divided by 60, isn't that annoying? The whole answer is 1. So hopefully this helps a little bit more with some of those big complicated fractions.